Welcome back to another episode.
Please welcome our guest, Fadi Musellet.
Thanks for having me.
Fadi Cakes.
Yes, thank you.
Why Fadi Cakes?
I love cakes. You know,
Yeah.
anytime anyone ever invites me to a function, just know I'm bringing the dessert.
Okay.
And it's definitely cakes.
You have a cake?
I'm working on
business?
something special. We'll be
Nice.
launching something special. I don't want to leak anything
Yeah,
out,
yeah,
but
Fair enough.
even though
Okay.
it's leaked
Stay
out a
tuned,
little bit,
guys.
but yeah, something's coming.
Nice.
It's in the works actually this year.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
All right, so we just want to dive in on all things Fadi tonight.
let's do it.
So why don't you give us a little rundown on how your childhood was?
How's my what?
Childhood, your
Where did you
upbringing.
grow
Where
up?
did you grow up?
So I grew up in South Florida, born and raised. Parents are Palestinian. Lost my father when I was 5. Mother raised 5 kids on her own. And I must admit, I get all my emotion, because my mom's very sensitive. Everything I have that's installed in me today is from my mother. So
Yeah, I love that.
it wasn't easy growing up, and I think that's why I carry my emotions on my sleeve. If you ever been to one of my charities, you know I
Of
get very
course.
emotional. But it's because it wasn't easy growing up. So to see where I am today, to how I was brought up,
Yeah. It hits deep.
it makes me emotional because I'm like, wow, and I never take it for granted. So yeah,
Well, if she sees what you do every day, I'm sure.
And that's
alhamdulillah.
amazing that you grew up in Florida and, you're humble and,
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
you-
Because I see my mom struggle. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I wasn't fed with a silver spoon. And she made sure that we were always, dressed nice. We always got the nicer
didn't
things.
let
You
you
know what I
guys
mean?
feel.
Yeah. So, but I could see her struggle to make that happen.
Yeah.
To make ends meet. So, I never took it for granted, and that's why I always stress to everyone, like, never take life for granted. Appreciate
Yeah.
what you have, because
Of
it could be
course.
worse.
For sure. And like growing up in Florida, you do get to see a lot of the other sides that we don't often see here, besides when we
Yes.
go to the camps,
Yes.
We're
Yeah,
used to seeing
exactly.
homeless people on the streets. But it's different when like you see that these labor workers are working every day for their families. And
Yeah.
so it does definitely hit home with growing up in Iraq. We also see
Yeah.
it too. Like our grandparents aren't living the lavish,
Yeah. Exactly.
life. So we see them struggle. So I love that we can connect on that.
I mean, it's God bless our parents, because they did everything for us.
I know.
They never lived the life we're living now.
Exactly.
They just
moved
struggle.
countries and
They
just for their kids.
exactly. They did everything for us. So
Yeah.
we're
And
thankful
like
for
being
them.
parents now, like we get it. Like everything
Yeah.
we do for our kids. Like my mom used to say, when you're walking, it's like galbi waraj. My heart is literally right behind you.
Yeah, my mom used to always say, "Wait till you have kids, you're gonna see what we go
Exactly.
through," and it's
You'll
true.
know
It's true.
how
Yeah.
that's so
It's
true.
And you
true.
do have a beautiful 1-year-old son, baby has.
Thank you.
How is
Yeah,
fatherhood
fatherhood.
for you?
Fatherhood. My life is easy because I have a amazing wife. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh, I
So-
love that. You husbands, take notes. You see how quick
Yeah.
he appreciated
He's
his
amazing.
gorgeous
I'm
wife.
telling you,
I love
because
that.
man, when you have a good wife, it makes life
It
easy
makes
for
Oh
you.
my gosh,
It really
peace
does.
of mind.
Exactly.
It really
It's not
does.
easy.
By the way, vice versa.
It really
Hey,
does.
Exactly.
when you have just a peaceful home,
Yeah.
well, what else do you
Yeah.
want?
Peace
Just
over
peace.
everything.
Yeah,
Like
I just I seen an article. I think it was today. Alicia Keys and
I read that.
Alicia Keys
and
and Swiss Beats. Yeah,
I read that.
they said
They
they
never
never had an
argue.
argument in their entire life.
wow.
Exactly.
Because when you have
Goals.
an argument, you can't hear anyone out. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So
And it's
the
so
solution
Oh,
is they
that's
talk it out, right?
communication.
And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm sure we had a few arguments, but like, she's so calm and so patient
that
that
it
like,
makes you calm.
yeah, it makes
Yeah,
me calm.
that- It
Yeah.
always takes two. So
course.
yeah,
that's,
yeah. So I think I give all the credit to her because,
Bless that.
man,
Alhamdulillah.
it's our son's
Because-
beautiful, alhamdulillah, and he's happy.
He's such
So
a
happy.
good
So, yeah.
baby.
And
Bless
He's
him.
we're trying
always
to
happy.
grow him fast. Like we're trying to get him everything we do. He's part of it.
Yeah,
You know what I
no,
mean?
that's
exactly. He's
amazing.
everywhere.
So that's a great thing.
I love
alhamdulillah.
that. Yalla, baby number
Yeah.
2, come on.
Inshallah, inshallah.
So back to America. Like you grew up in Florida,
Yep.
and you are a celebrity, and your cousin DJ Khaled. Like
Yeah.
how was that?
Who is that?
Who is that?
Who is
Exactly.
that?
How, like,
Let's dig into that. No, but really, how was Miami life? 305.
like, how did you go
party
from Miami,
scene.
the party scene?
No,
You know, it's so hard to lose, like, Iman, you know, growing
Of
up there.
course, yeah.
And then coming to Dubai. Like, how?
and same thing. I mean, I think there's a lot of similarities between Dubai and Miami. You know,
There's everything.
and it's just how I was how you grew up. You know,
Yeah.
If you don't, I think because I've seen so much at a young age, nothing fazed me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So living on the beach, living on South Beach, living in Miami, I've seen it all.
Yeah.
You know, being on tour, you know, going to one of the top universities in the country and playing American football there. And it's just like, I've seen it all. It
Yeah.
wasn't new to me, you know?
Yeah.
So transitioning here to Dubai was like, okay, it's nothing new, you know?
Exactly. I love that you kind of get everything out of your system.
Yeah.
So then you can.
And like I must say, like I've seen it all. I don't know if anyone ever been to Miami Beach, but Miami Beach is a pretty
wild.
dangerous city.
Yeah.
They say, you know, Miami could chew you up and spit you out in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of people come there, same as Dubai, where they try to like keep up with the lifestyle and the image and trying to prove themselves and show off and this and that.
Exactly.
And then after 1 year, they just disappear because they can't
keep up with it.
But if you just balance yourself out and you know, stay humble, people will love you for who you are, not for what you're trying to be. You know?
Like if I could just ask you a personal question, when did you was it you found God and then you were just kind of took a step back from that kind of life, or you just been through enough and you were like, listen, like,
no,
this is just
to
not
be honest
who
with you, I think I got more closer to God and more spiritual. And I wouldn't say like I'm religious, super religious. I'm not. I just
You follow the five.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
You found your
I pray
God,
5 times a day, which I didn't do in America.
Yeah.
It's because America brainwashes you.
That's like Canada,
You know what I mean?
exactly. That's what
agree.
I mean.
At least here, like
You lose your iman there.
yeah, here you're around.
You're surrounded
You're in a
by it.
Muslim country. There's a masjid on every corner.
Exactly.
You hear the adhan in the mall. You know what I mean? So
It's beautiful.
it just and
You can't ignore that.
I wasn't around so much corruption. I
Yeah.
mean, I was around so much corruption in America, where here it's like you can't really do anything illegal. You really got
you
kind of
have to stay in your place.
have to be a square to live here. You know what I
Right.
mean? But being a square isn't bad.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's nice. It's peaceful.
I love it. I love living here. I don't think I'll ever move back. And it's just
We always say
That's
that
sweet.
about
It's
Canada.
grounded me,
There's
yeah.
nothing
It's
there for
grounded me.
Especially
us.
now that we have kids. I would never want to raise my kids
yeah.
in
It's
Canada.
just
For sure.
it's a slower pace here, but you still have the luxury. You still have
Exactly.
the
The
iman. You know what I
religion.
mean? Yeah, you have everything
Yeah.
here. Everything here. Yeah, you can't complain. Alhamdulillah.
Exactly. Alhamdulillah. So DJ Khaled,
Yeah, let's get back into that.
how is like I just, let alone as a human, staying quiet about Palestine is crazy to me. But
As a
as
Palestinian.
a Palestinian, your cousin, like your family, how did that affect you?
Whose side is he from? Whose side is
Is
he
he your
on?
dad's?
Both sides. You know, we come from a small village, so like the whole village is kind of related. You know, so it's like both sides of the family.
Oh, wow. So like really
Yeah.
close then.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
So how is like
Yeah.
his family, or I'm sure he has family in Palestine, obviously. Or,
Yeah. So they haven't been back since 1985. Their house is still there. And it's just like they just lost touch, you know what I mean?
That's
And
crazy.
and like I said, like the America, like it brainwashes you.
brainwashes
It
you.
it
Makes
gets
you
you caught up
numb.
in the wrong things, you know? And
But I'm sure he sees it, I'm
Oh,
sure
no, he
he
does,
sees
he does,
the,
he
like,
does,
what
yeah.
the hell, like, hello, like the
Yeah.
comments, everyone's like,
Yeah.
you're Palestinian,
I think,
bro.
there's sometimes when you dig that hole so deep that you just can't get out of
that's
it.
true. You're just so numb
And I think
to
right
it.
now he just knows he's so deep down, nothing's just gonna make
That's
up for
crazy.
what
But do you think
happened.
he chose like money and fame over?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
yeah,
He
absolutely.
sold his
Unfortunately,
freaking soul.
yeah, yeah,
that's sad.
yeah. I mean,
Cancel them.
when times are tough, people show their true colors.
Yeah, exactly.
And when we needed him the most, he never showed up.
spoke
And now look what's happening over there. It's like, I mean, he doesn't even exist to us.
I know.
You know what I mean? It's over. Like you can't come back from
Yeah,
this
no,
one.
there's no coming back from
Yeah,
that one.
there's no
like,
coming
that's-
back.
Like even when it first happened, like I was getting angry at my like friends that didn't speak. You know, I started like
Yeah, and
blocking,
following people,
let
and
alone
like,
your
what am
family.
I?
It's
Like
And
you
I-
start asking yourself, like, then, like, why am I even keeping you
Yeah.
around? Look at like
and
your
I mean,
morals.
like, you know, he
and your-
supported Black Lives Matter so much. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? He supported the fires in LA, but like
But your
no
own
one in the
people, and-
world has ever seen a genocide like what's going on in
Exactly.
Palestine, and just crickets. You know what I
like
mean?
so many influencers, speaking of
Oh,
Huda
everyone,
Beauty,
everyone,
like they
everyone,
were willing to
everyone.
lose their platform because they are
Exactly.
human.
Everyone.
Like,
it's
how are you not
impossible
gonna?
to stay quiet. Impossible unless you
Yeah.
don't have a heart. You don't.
And
you
that's
don't
the
care.
scary thing.
It's,
That it makes you think how, like,
you know, money,
how,
the root of all
Money,
evil.
exactly.
You know what I mean? So
Poison.
listen, at the end of the day, it's the month of Ramadan. I know we have to forgive people. I mean, for me, myself, I wouldn't say I'm going to forgive him, but I'm going to pray for him.
Yeah.
Of course.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
I love
Allah
that.
Yahdi.
Yeah, that's all I can do.
That's a good one. Yeah. Allah Yahdi. So you're Palestine.
Mhm.
How? So you guys grew up in Florida.
Grew up in Florida.
How did your mom go back to Palestine? Did you guys all go to Palestine or
No, so I'm the youngest of 5. When my dad passed away, my mom was only 32, so I'm sure I would have had more siblings, you know. But like after I graduated university, my mom was like, "Okay, that's it. There's nothing left for me to do here. You graduated. You guys are all grown up now." And she moved to Palestine, and she got her Palestinian passport, which she applied for, and she never moved back since.
Wow.
And it's for us. I mean, we accept it because you know, we have a beautiful house there, and she's always
It's
busy
so
with the
beautiful.
house.
Yeah,
She's
I
always
know.
busy with the house.
I love
you know?
watching your
cooking
stories.
in her
and
garden.
we live right in the center of our village, so like our doors are always open, so people are always coming in and
I
out.
love
You know what I
that.
mean? When she comes to America, she's just stuck at home
Stuck-
the whole
yeah,
time.
so
You
she
know what I
has,
mean?
like, a family.
my
They
don't- they
my
don't
siblings
fit
are
in.
working.
Like,
yeah,
even
my
my
siblings
mom-
are working, and
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
home
yeah.
all the time. At least in Palestine, like the doors are open. People are always coming
Yeah.
in.
Love that.
She's got her
She has a
garden. She's got her
purpose.
olive
Feeding
tree. She's got this.
people,
Yeah,
like,
she's
just-
she loves it. You know, like
Yeah.
yeah, and people, our village love her. So like she's a legend there.
That's funny. What
Yeah.
your mom is doing in Palestine is what you're trying to give
Yeah.
back here.
Yeah.
Like, that's so beautiful.
And how do you guys feel that she's there? Like, you know, she never wants to like move out or come here to Dubai.
No, I mean,
It's scary. It's,
we've come to, you know, we've come to terms with it. Like that's it. That's what she wants. You know, she doesn't want to leave because, you know, my father's buried there. I have a
Okay.
brother that passed away that's buried there.
Wow, I'm so
My
sorry for your
grandparents are
loss.
buried there. You know
Oh
what I
my
mean? So like,
goodness.
she's 76.
Why would you want to leave?
Yeah, she's 76 years old. She's
Yeah.
at peace. She's happy there.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like a 2.5 hour flight from
Yeah,
her.
alhamdulillah,
So I
you're
just,
very close.
you know, it's a hop and a skip, and I'll,
Yeah.
you know, whenever anytime she needs me, I'll take the flight over
Yeah,
there. There's a
mashallah.
flight every single hour, you know.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
So it's easier for me, and she loves it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which part is she in?
We live in a village called Mizra Sharkiya,
Okay.
which is like 15 minutes outside of Ramallah, which is
Okay.
considered the West Bank.
So it's a bit. Is it safe? Like, is it?
No. Right now, the West Bank is getting hit hard as well with settlers
Oh, wow.
that are literally just coming in and just taking over people's homes. You know what I mean? The West Bank, the West Bank is getting hit a lot. Like if you see the news, like Jenin, they're just taking over
Yeah.
Jenin.
Oh my God.
They're taking over Tul Karam. They're taking over Nablus. They're taking over.
It's scary.
Like, and like, what do you
Khaled.
do when you hear this news? Like, oh my God, when I first, it's not when it first happened, we're not going all the way back, but October 7th, I was actually pregnant with my second daughter. And it was just so like, you can't look
It
away.
was a
And when you're
depressing
looking at
time.
it, your brain is not braining like what's happening. You could, subhanAllah, like our eyes aren't made to see such
Yeah.
It
It's,
was traumatizing.
raw-
you know,
raw
we
things.
growing up, we used to, you know, when we all had history class, and we would read things that be like, man, did this
Did
really
this actually
exist?
happen?
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And now,
Social
I'm sure
media.
our kids are gonna grow up and be like, man, like the
Oh, do
world
you know how
actually
many-
seen this happen
So the
and
good
didn't
thing
do
about
anything?
when
You
I
know
was
what I mean?
actually there was the protests happening. So I was able to take Layan to, it wasn't the crazy ones happening in Toronto, but our city put together these protests almost every week. And we're just out there just like literally crying to people. And
Yeah.
how many months, a year, something later, it's still going on. Like where are we?
Yeah,
Like
it's
like what do we do? What do
it's
we
an
say?
ugly world.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's a
Like I
sad
swear, it's
world.
like just flip the page. What if that was you and your family there?
Exactly.
Like, wouldn't you like be screaming like, hello, like wake up? Oh my God, it's,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And all your siblings live in America.
in the States. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Wow.
bless your mom. She sounds like an amazing woman.
yeah. Alhamdulillah. Like all mothers, you know. I'm sure
Inshallah.
your mother is as well.
Oh my. So speaking of mothers and giving back, I'll share a little story time, and it kind of resonates with what you do every day, giving to the labor workers. Call it philanthropy, if you will. So we were in Arbil for my sister's wedding, my elder sister.
It was actually the time where the crisis of the Syrian refugees fled to like Iraq
Kurdistan.
and Lebanon. And
Yeah. So Arbil is up north. They call it Kurdistan.
Okay.
Still a part of Iraq. Don't give me hate for that one. And we heard that there were a lot of camps there. So we're like, you know what? Let's just go. So we went to this flea market, completely like...
because my sister originally went there. She was a nurse. She originally went there to help with, it was called like Islamic relief, where doctors and nurses go and help, like, you know, the injured and refugees. So when we went to visit, we actually went to like a flea market, like she said, and we got, you know, necessities like flowers and rice and
salt.
it was just all us, like me, my sister.
And then on top of that, we had brought in, I don't know, funny enough, we brought so much clothes from Canada to Arbil. We're like, you know what, just in case we get to go to these camps. So if you want, you can like kind of just flip through.
Like we did it just all on our own.
wow.
It was
like,
literally my mom, me, my sister, her husband, Monty was there.
like not planned
Yeah, you
at
can
all.
just keep flipping. So when we got to the camp, they stopped us at the front. They're like, yo, like you guys can't just come in here. Like,
you
you
have to
know,
have an
like what do you guys
organization.
have? What if you guys have things on you? We're like, no, we just
wanna
came. We just want to
help.
help, please. Like maybe it's not enough for everybody, but whoever it reaches, just let us do it. And oh my God, like when I tell you, you bring back that rush of
the
just
feeling.
giving without asking for anything, you know, the selfless act.
What year was this?
This
This was
like,
2016.
Oh wow.
yeah, like back in the day.
And I remember also when you, Sabrina, your wifey, you guys went to Palestine and you went to the schools with the people of determination.
Yeah.
I was like, please, next time you guys go, let us come.
That's why we love the Giving Family, because like it's something we've always, you know, our whole life we've been doing it. Like my mom always, even like in Canada, the homeless people would get like food for them, and we always love to give back and help with whatever.
It's crazy.
So our mom
These refugee camps are special.
It is.
Yeah, and they're so
I did a few
happy.
in Amman and Jordan and a few in Palestine. And man, you just see how loving these kids are.
Loving and happy and
so
excited.
happy,
It's like, wow.
It's just like so we did one in Palestine. It was in Bethlehem.
Yeah.
And man, you know, we went and like, you know, because like in Palestine, like we don't get all the brands
The
that
toys and
everyone
the nice
else gets. You know,
candies.
even the candies, like
Exactly.
it's like the generic candy and
Yes.
the, you know, like generic Snicker bar and Kit Kat. You know what I mean? And like we had to buy whatever we can get, and like we went and did a Eid party at one of the refugee camps. You know, and we brought all the kids in, and we brought like this clown and everything. You know. And man,
Just seeing their
we all got
faces,
so
eyes
emotional
back.
because we're giving them these bags of candy, and it's like it's all like
Simple.
generic candy, and they're like just so happy
So
and like
grateful.
And I'm like, man, these kids have no idea, man.
Exactly.
They're
And
just
you know
so
what?
you know.
Wallah ahsan.
Yeah.
I swear they would
No,
I
but
bet
I mean,
you not.
it's like
not ahsan
you know,
in their
you know
situation.
they deserve more. It's just
Of
like
course.
there's no
Yeah.
access to more. You know what I mean?
And just the simple things.
That's
at
what I mean.
that
Like
time
the
will
real
make them
world
happy.
has made us so spoiled and
Yeah.
selfish that we want what they have and they want what we have,
Yeah.
but we don't know that we're like trying to speak the same language.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like even when we went into the refugee camp, like they just seen the truck and they seen us, and all
they're
the kids started running because
Oh,
they were
yeah.
like, you know, they have
So
stuff for
I
us.
did also did one refugee camp in Amman one time, and we went as a group, and the guy that was leading the way was like, please do not separate from the group.
And don't
Let's all
take
stay
everything
together, you
out.
know. And me
Yeah.
and my cousin like we snuck away, and like we went to like a little market that they had there, and there were some kids in there buying candy, and we were like, listen, go buy whatever you want. And they were
Yeah.
like looking at us like we're crazy. They were scared, you know, like we were like, no, just go buy whatever you
Yeah.
want. And like we had to force them to buy what they wanted. And then like they went like, we went to like another store, and like the same kids came with like 10 other kids.
Yeah.
And then they just kept building up. Next thing you know, we're like buying the whole
The whole
store for the
neighborhood.
kids.
So
Yeah, it was
that.
amazing.
That's
It
amazing.
was amazing.
Is there one story that stuck out with you through the giving family that will stay with you for a long time? Like maybe from the workers, or has anything happened?
I think the whole Umrah for labor workers.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
That was
That is
something that
such an
really,
amazing
because like
concept.
when we sent that first bus off to Umrah, like their faces and
Because they
and-
probably never think that they could ever.
yeah, they never thought, you know.
Go.
And like the first bus we sent off, like all of their friends from the camps came that morning to say bye to them.
Aw.
And it was like the most heartwarming, like
It is very wholesome.
it was
Even
incredible.
when they
like,
were getting off the bus,
We
that you
got
would
so
thank you for
emotional.
letting us
Yeah.
see that. Yeah, the
it's
smiles
incredible,
and
yeah.
how
Yeah.
literally they were radiating with like
Their
angels around them.
happiness,
Wallah,
yeah.
it's
No,
so
it was
beautiful.
incredible. It was incredible. I think
And just seeing
I
how
think that's-
everybody was happy for them also.
Yeah.
Like
I
love
think the
that.
first bus is like, I still remember April 24th, 2024. That was like the first bus that
Amazing.
went. It was incredible.
Wow.
I think that I will never forget that day.
Yeah, that's so amazing.
That's amazing. So I was telling Zina in the car on the way here, I was like, I actually followed Fadi or came across his page way before he was like on Dubai Bling.
Oh, yeah.
I came across like I think he did like I don't remember the magazine cover, like Forbes or something, like talking about who you are and that, you know, you have the Giving Family, and explained it. So I like dived deep. I'm like, Giving Family. So that's when I found like your organization. I'm like, oh, cool. Like something we can be part of, something here. So that's how kind of we started coming to the Giving Family. But how did you start it here in Dubai? Like,
So I started in 2016. I literally just went to one camp, and because I don't, these labor workers, they I got a soft heart for them, you know.
yeah,
And I just one day I picked up and I went. One of my friends actually was telling me how some of the locals here will pack up meals in cars and just go.
yeah, I see that.
And then I started seeing that, you know, like the car would just pull up to a camp and like people get in
Yeah,
line and they just give out
exactly.
boxes. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool, you know? So one day I just went on my own to a camp, and I asked the manager, I was like, hey, can I just feed some of these labor workers? He's like, no problem. I think I did 40 meals that day.
Yeah,
And then like I wasn't consistent. And like I would like gather up some more money, and then I went like a couple days later, then
Yeah,
a week
yeah,
later, and I kept going by myself. The first year I was doing it always by myself. And then the second year I went with like 6 of my friends, and we started doing it where we like feed like 100, 200, sometimes
Wow,
500.
amazing.
The max was like 500 or
Yeah,
400, you know? We never went above that. And we would do it where like we put the plastic on the floor, and everyone sits down and eat.
that's
And we used to
Yeah.
eat with them, you know? So that was like the second year, 2017. And then it kept building up.
yeah,
We still weren't at the level we are now.
yeah,
And then COVID came, and we had to shut it down for like 2 years.
Yeah.
You know how strict
COVID,
Dubai
yeah,
was, yeah. And then like right after COVID ended, I was like, you know what?
Let's get back
Let's
into
get back
it.
Let's
into
get
it.
into
Yeah.
I love that.
So I told my wife, I was like, let's go, come with me. I'm gonna show you how I was doing it. And she came with me and 2 of her friends. Actually, you guys know one of them. His name is Q.
Yes.
yeah.
Q
was,
came with one of his friends, and it was just us 4.
Wow.
And I still remember this was like 2020, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
And we went, and that day we fed 75 people. And then we came back the second day and did like 300.
Amazing.
And then we're like a week into it, we were doing it every single day. And then Sabrina was always a good friend of mine for years.
yeah.
And so like after 1 week, we told Sabrina, she came part of it. You know, she came and
she's
helped
amazing.
out.
She's holding it down.
And since that day, we always been together. And then because of the Giving Movement, the brand, which my friend owns, I was like, man, why don't we do the Giving Family? You know?
Yeah. See, I always thought it was gonna be like
I always mistaken. I'm like, Giving Movement.
Yeah,
I mean,
because in 2021, they were like one of the first brands to do a collab with us.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, the Giving Movement, the Giving Family, you know? And so we kept the name. And then we, in 2021, we did like an interview on Virgin Radio with Chris Fade. Mm-hmm. And from there, it just went viral. Skyrocketed. It just went crazy.
Yeah.
And now we have like, we have at least 5,000 volunteers that's been at least once.
Yeah.
And we average, I mean, throughout the year, we probably do a million meals throughout the year, every single year. Yeah. Amazing. Because just for the month of Ramadan, we do over 350,000.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's the best part of our Ramadan routine.
Yeah.
We love it.
Especially this year. Like this year, even there's a guy at the Giving Family. He's like, you guys haven't missed one day out? We're like, no. This year was the first year, we're like very consistent.
Every year it gets better and better, and it gets more special, you know?
I hope you guys are going to keep doing it for the Sundays.
Yeah, so I think we're going to, so we started before Ramadan doing it on Sundays.
Yeah, I remember.
At a smaller scale, and I think we're going to continue doing that, because the problem is that, you know, Ramadan, the people's working hours are shorter.
Yeah.
And so we can't do this without the volunteers, you know?
Exactly.
And so we feel like after Ramadan, everyone goes back to regular working hours, and we know Sunday everyone's off. So we figured, okay, let's just do it Sunday.
It's a good time to just bring back, everybody.
Yeah. And I think everyone wants to do it. So we'll see how we'll continue doing it and see how it goes.
Also, Abu Ammar does not let me forget it. He calls us every day.
Your father-in-law, right?
Yeah.
He's always next to you.
He loves it.
He's an icon.
He loves it. He calls me every day. Yeah. Are we gonna go? I'm like, yes.
And there's you know, the good thing about the Giving Family is like there's no age.
Exactly,
like,
no limit.
The kids, the adults, the teenagers, the grandparents. You know, so
they feel like they have a purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
They love it. They love it. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for that. It's amazing.
Of course. So if you're not part of the Giving Family, follow
you need
us.
to join.
Exactly, follow us at the Giving Family and come on down.
Everyone's welcome.
Everyone's welcome. No sign up, no registration. Just come volunteer.
Same time every time. So Dubai Bling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
you were on Dubai Bling.
Yes.
How famous man.
How did that change?
Can I just say something? They didn't do you justice on that show.
I know.
I wish I could have seen this Fadi on that show, you know, like what you do, giving back.
So no, I mean, I signed the NDA, so I can't really say much.
Yeah.
But the storyboard wasn't supposed to be how it was for season one.
Yeah.
A lot of things changed. So then they had to, you know, bring me in as a different person. So
okay.
I just had to roll with the punches and take it as it was.
I mean, you held your own. You were like, cool on the show.
I knew the cameras were on me. I knew my mom was going to be watching. I knew Palestine was watching.
Yeah.
And for me, more than anything, like I just wanted to represent Palestine.
Yeah.
Because if you notice, there's people on there that's from Kuwait. There's people on there from Lebanon. There's people from Saudi. There's people from here. And I felt like I had to represent Palestine.
Your country, definitely.
Otherwise, when they changed the storyboard, I should have pulled out right away. But I was like, you know what? Let me just represent Palestine.
Well done.
You know?
Do your thing.
So I had to take what was given to me after they changed it. And they literally changed it the day before we started shooting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's why, if you notice, I wasn't in episode 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Because they had to change my whole storyboard. That's why I came in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
It's not like you do your thing. You have to.
No. I mean, they have a story, and then they just put you in it, and you just roll with it, you know?
Figure out your way. So people can choose to like either make it like more dramatic
that's the thing.
than
You don't know
it
how they're
is,
going to edit you. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. It was a good experience. And then, you know, the whole war came out in Palestine. And my mom was like, okay, that's it. Like, there's no more reality TV when people are getting slaughtered, you know? So, and I said, you're absolutely right. It's not right. You know what I mean?
Out of respect also, like for yourself too, you know, you don't.
Exactly. And that's why, like, I don't even post like, you know, I don't post like any food or restaurants.
Yeah,
because it's not.
Everything
doesn't make
comes
sense.
back to play.
Yeah,
exactly. So why, like, did it change? Like after you were on Dubai Bling, did your life change a little bit? Like, I
mean, I was more recognized. After the show. Yeah, but like, I felt like
maybe more opportunities.
I felt like I kind of needed that for the world to like follow me and see who I
Yeah,
really
so
am.
exactly.
You know what I mean? Even though the show didn't
real
show who
you.
I really was, but I got a lot of followers,
Yeah.
and now they follow me. Be like, okay, like
Who is Fadi?
this is not the same guy that was on Dubai Bling.
Yeah.
Like this guy's different,
Yeah,
and we like this
exactly.
guy. You know, so it gave me some exposure.
To be fair, I
to
was kind
show-
of like one of those. I wouldn't say I judged you, but you see somebody for the first time, you get some of a perspective on them. And not too long after, we joined the Given family. So I was like, oh
that's the
wait,
thing.
like that's the guy
a
from
lot
Dubai
of people
Bling.
like followed me from the show, and now they actually see what I
Who you
really
really
do,
are.
and
I
who
love
I
that.
really am.
So
you know
you
what I
really
mean?
show. You were like the
Yeah, it's
pure
crazy.
definition of I show you.
It's
I
crazy
don't
because
tell you.
we were I was in Canada with my wife because she's from a small town called St. Thomas.
Yeah,
and
close to us.
this was I think last summer or 2 summers ago, and then like one of my really close friends is Kevin Hart, and he was
I love
performing in
him.
Windsor.
Yeah.
And so he hits me up. He's like, "Yo, I'm in Windsor," and I was like, "I'm in Canada too." So we drove down to Windsor and met up with them, and we were at the Caesar's Palace. And I'm like, I'm walking through the hotel, and like there's a huge Arab community in Windsor,
exactly.
Michigan.
Right.
You know what I
Michigan,
mean?
Dearborn, yeah.
And so
course.
like almost the whole all the Arab world
Exactly.
For
watched
sure they
Dubai
would know.
Bling. You
And
know,
a lot of Palestinians in
yeah.
Dearborn.
So
Yes.
walking through the hotel, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, that's Fadi from
That's
Dubai
so
Bling," and
funny.
Kevin was like, "Bro, like."
Your favorite?
This is like my show, and like but like like it was the Arab community that watched the
Yeah.
show that so they understood it. So yeah, it was actually pretty cool
That's
because
so
Yeah, I love
cool.
that.
yeah,
That is
it's
cool.
crazy, especially in Canada.
We live on the border to Michigan. So your wife
Sarnia.
lives in
but
St.
isn't
Thomas.
Windsor on the border?
No, so
There's
that's
2 borders.
Okay,
Yeah.
There's like Windsor and Dearborn, and there's Sarnia and Michigan.
Yeah.
okay.
It's called the Blue Waters Bridge.
Which one? The bridge that you cross that you pay money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's closer to you guys.
Blue Water
So
Bridge is
there's
way nicer
two.
than the Windsor
yeah, the blue,
one.
and,
Okay.
and the custom officers are much nicer and
Okay,
are on our
then the
end.
tunnel, right?
Yeah.
But
That's-
St. Thomas, where Zahrat's from, is very close to where it's like an hour.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, you're talking
Yeah.
the tunnel, all that is Windsor side.
Windsor
so Windsor,
side, yeah.
Dearborn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
that's
connect.
true.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's more hood.
So how do you
More
know
hood
all
over
these
there.
celebrities? Kevin Hart, and is it from Miami?
It's from Miami, and
You were in
DJ
from,
Khaled's days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I love
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
Yeah. So that's how became very
And
close with them.
you were also in New York. So
Yeah,
you
I
have
was-
a little hood in you
yeah,
too.
yeah, I was also in New York as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Between New York and Miami. Yeah.
Which one would you say was more you? New York, Miami?
I love the city, and that's one of the reasons why we live in downtown. I love the city life, you know?
Yeah.
And for me, I think my favorite city in the world is New York City.
New York.
Yeah,
And
it's
like if we ever
beautiful.
move back, it would be New York.
Yeah.
But I also love Miami and the beach life
Yeah.
and it's like a
Dubai, you have
vacation.
both of
You know what I
them.
mean?
I was just gonna say,
Like,
here you get
Miami's
that
like the
support.
vacation and
Yeah,
New York's
yeah.
like the hustle. And,
Exactly.
so it balances each other
Yeah.
out. So I love both. Yeah.
And that's Dubai. It's
And
same
Dubai has it
city
all.
and
Yep.
best of both
Exactly.
worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got you a gift.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. So just a little. So I actually seen this. I had a guy wearing it on
Is
your
the guy
camp.
dunking the ball?
Yes.
Oh man.
I was like,
I told him, I was like, yo, I love
I
that
Yeah,
shirt.
love it.
sick.
Like,
Oh no, that's crazy.
Right?
Yeah, no, that's
I
sick.
hope
Thank
it
you
fits
guys.
you.
Thank you,
I
man.
know,
No, thank
this
you.
is so dope.
Honestly,
Sick.
I
Wow.
love that.
Right? I
No, this
love
is
it.
crazy. Yeah, I seen a guy wearing it too.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I
and
love
then I
your
was
shirt.
like,
No, this is crazy. I
Yeah.
appreciate you guys.
Of
Wow,
course.
thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Really,
Thank you,
thank you so
thank
much
you.
for your time. Yeah.
This is dope. I appreciate it. Wow,
Yeah.
thank you so
Amazing.
much.
No,
thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in, and we'll catch you later.
Thank you guys.
Cool.
Peace.
Amazing. Thank you.
Awesome.